Okay, I'm going to call to order our Health and Safety Advisory Committee meeting today. May we get a roll call, please?
Ellie Mae Pham,
Present.
Reese Isbell,
Here.
Danielle Munoz,
Here.
Jude Ballman,
Here.
Paul Bryson,
Here.
Brandon Hart, Brandon Hart, Leslie Rosti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Natalie. Okay, let's move on to our second item on the agenda, review and possible approval of March 20th, 2023 committee meetings minutes. It's been almost a year since we met, so I hope everyone got a chance to refresh their memory on what happened last time. Are there any changes to the draft minutes? Please feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand. I know we're a slightly bigger committee. I don't see any. Okay, I don't see any hands from anyone. I did notice one change. Where was it? Okay, maybe it was something else. All right, any changes from anyone else? And if not, may I have a motion to approve the March 20th, 2023 meeting minutes?
Leslie Rosti, motion to approve.
Okay, I think I heard a motion to approve from Leslie, and then Paul, is that a
I'm so
second
sorry.
from you?
I threw my hand up not to motion to approve, but to try to correct a typo before we
Oh,
approve.
yes, please, go ahead.
A little slow on the keyboard, sorry.
Not a problem. Go ahead, thank you.
It's just a typo. Agenda item 2, page 4. Mr. Bryson stated that some people use tabs of warm water and tubs with various stirring and agitating. That should be tubs of warm water, tubs with various stirring, agitating devices, not tabs, tubs. So
Thank
that's
you for
just a
that
typo.
correction. Yes, that's one I was looking for that one as well. Yes, tabs.
Should be
Okay, do we
tubs.
have, yeah.
That's it.
What? Thank you, Paul. Are there any other changes? Great. And Leslie, with that friendly amendment, do you still move to approve the minutes?
Yes.
All right, and can we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you from Paul. All right, let's move on to public comment. Christy, is there any public comment there in person?
There is no public comment here.
All right, thank you. Okay, moderator, may we open it up for a public comment on this motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, this is the moderator. The Q&A is open. The instructions are on the screen for your reference. If you're logged in, click on the question mark, type comments, send it to all panelists. If you are calling in, *3 from your phone to raise your virtual hand. There are no requests. Would you like me to close the Q&A?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Okay, with that, can we please have call a vote?
Ellie Mae Pham,
Yes.
Reese Isbell,
Yes.
Danielle Munoz,
Yes.
Jude Ballman,
Yes.
Bryson,
Yes.
Brandon Hart,
Yes.
Leslie Rosti. Motion passes.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to item number 3, discussion and possible recommendation regarding health and safety course update plan. I know this is going to be our next big project, so Christy, take it away.
All right, thank you. As some of you may know, the board has its own health and safety course. This is an extensive workbook that every school, bless you, every school is supposed to teach within their curriculum. That is a requirement. And it's now time for us to review this information and make any updates to it. This is a program that's been in the process for many, many, many years. It was originally done by the University of Berkeley, and it was since redone in 2019. And so now we feel that there is some information within it that we believe is out of date. And so we'd like this committee to take on the task of reviewing the existing course and making recommendations at our next committee meeting for any changes that they see fit. Because it is such a large document, I believe it's over 500 pages, we took the liberty of separating out and kind of making assignments to what we thought people would be, their expertise would be best served at. However, please note that this was just us making this recommendation. It might be too much, it might be too little. So we wanted to just go through each of these areas. Once we have separated this out for those to look at, we would like to have you all review your sections and then bring back any of your recommendations to our next committee meeting. That date is not set yet, but we'll work with all of you to make sure we get that date set. And don't worry, it won't be next month. So you'll have plenty of time because again, this is a big project. It's going to take some time. We know you all have real jobs. You're not just waiting for us to give you work to review. So in going through this, you can see on the agenda item where we've placed each of you. And so at this point, I would just open it up for discussion to see if any of you have any concerns with what we assigned, if we made a wrong move and that's not your expertise and you would not want to be on that section, that's totally fine as well. Any comments that any of you have on the assignments that we've made, we would be open to changing anything because we appreciate any help that all of you can give us in your expertise in looking at this curriculum. So I open it up to the committee for discussion.
I have some initial questions. Okay, and I don't see any hands raised so far. So one, how would we get access to these materials? Will the board be providing it to us? And second, is there a specific thing that you wanted us to kind of keep an eye out for, or kind of in reviewing these? Are there, particular things you want us to pay attention to or looking to change? In just kind of reviewing it, I imagine there's going to be some things where you don't have all, complete information. And so if you could just kind of a little bit more guidance on what it is that you want us to be reviewing for and the kinds of suggestions you're looking for.
So we're really looking for any suggestions that there could be out of date information within the workbook as it stands today, especially there's a lot of other departments on our committee here. We have Cal OSHA and we have Department of Public Health. So there could be things that you all know that we don't, that we might need to tweak within the curriculum. We might just have items in there because again, keeping in mind that it was a very old course that we updated, and I think we did a really good job when this was updated originally, but things change so fast that we really want you to look to see if there's something that you know of in your expertise may be out of date, or maybe we could just say it clearer. Sometimes we tend to make things a little too difficult to understand, so we want to make sure that this is easily understandable to to the students that are going through school. So that's our main thing is accuracy, something that might be obviously out of date, or anything that you feel we could say in a more productive manner to reach our students that are looking at this course. And I'm sorry, we will provide this. We have this in a web format. in a Word format. So we have the pretty version that looks great, and we can provide that as a PDF document, but we also have the narrative of everything in an actual Word document that you could edit.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christy. Are there any other questions from the other committee members? Okay, I don't see any hands. It looks like everyone feels good about their assignment and is excited to take on this task. Okay.
Just a comment that this will be a quick meeting today. And so I really appreciate all of you coming and getting on, especially getting on a little early due to our previous meetings ending so quickly. We will likely schedule this meeting separately from our other committee meetings because we know that this committee meeting normally takes a couple of hours. And so this is a big project we're going to be taking on. So we will be reaching out to everybody to schedule that meeting and make sure that we're not, we really appreciate the help of everyone that's on this committee. So we'll be working with you on your schedules as well.
Chrissy, let's move on to public comment. If there's, okay, again, I don't see any comments from our committee members, so let's move on to public comment. Chrissy, any public comment on your end?
No public comment here.
All right, thank you. And moderator, may we open the public comment online?
Yes, this is the moderator. The Q&A is open. The instructions are on the screen for your reference. If you would like to participate, click that question mark, type comments, send it to all panelists. If you're calling in from a phone, press *3 to raise your virtual hand. No requests. Would you like me to close the Q&A?
Yes, please. Thank you. And our next item is public comment on items not on the agenda. Christy, any public comment on your end?
No public comment here.
Thank you. And moderator, can we open the public comment again for item 4, items not on the agenda?
Yes, the Q&A is open. The instructions are on the screen for your reference. If you're logged in, press that question mark, type comments, send to all panelists. If you're calling in, *3 to raise your virtual hand. No request for public comment. Would you like me to close the Q&A?
Yes, please. Thank you. And before we move on to 5 suggestions for future agenda items, actually, Chrissy, I just wanted to have an update for the group about the status of what we were working on last year, the language for the new regulations. If you could just give us an update on that.
Absolutely. So this committee worked on health and safety regulations, and we also worked on this citation and fine schedule. We are currently working with our legislation, with our regulations council, our legal counsel, on finalizing those health and safety regulations. It's obviously a very big regulation package, so we are getting through that. And once we have those completed, they'll go to the board for approval. And in the meantime, once the regulations have that language is done, we'll be able to start looking at what this committee did with the fines and plugging those in with each one of those sections. So all of that work that was done is still in process, and we're hoping in 2024, we're hoping to see something come out of all that work that was done.
Thank you, Christy. Okay. So moving on to item 5 on the agenda, suggestions for future agenda items. Any suggestions from the committee? Obviously, it sounds like we've got a full plate coming up. The next meeting should be well, it'll be quite the work meeting. But any other suggestions for what should appear on that agenda? Okay, I don't see any hands from our committee members. Okay, if that is all, then I want to thank you everyone for your time today. And thank you, Chrissy. And I think that we're ready for adjournment.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and in case we have many members of the public, that should be our last committee meeting today, unless I'm wrong. And so I think we're all going to be logging off. Okay, thank you.